Yeah, and quick little college baseball weekend recap. Southern Illinois went 2-1 over the weekend. Eastern Illinois went 2-1 over the weekend as well against Bellarmine, and then NIU won their series against Ohio 2-1. They are now sitting at 9-5. Saturday they had a big win, 13-1, and then Sunday they won 8-2. So a couple teams from Illinois off to good starts the last weekend. And then one thing I just wanted to note: Louisville played Seton Hall on Friday, and they had three guys from Illinois pitch in that game. Ethan Eberle started, threw 5 innings, struck out 7, walked 2, allowed 1 run and 6 hits. Tanner Thomas came in out of relief, threw 1 inning, didn't allow a hit, run, didn't strike anyone out or walk anybody. He is from Arcola. Eberle's from Normal Community. And then Anthony Karbowski out of Hampshire threw 1 inning, allowed 1 hit, one hit and no strikeouts. So some Illinois guys in that game. Kind of cool to see.
No, that fires me up. Two lefties there with Everly and Karbowski, but then you got Tanner Thomas. Like, he was before the recruiting rules changed, where you couldn't talk to a school at a certain age. He was a very, very early commit to Louisville. One of the first commits in that class. And out of a small central Illinois town, you love to see it. He was probably one of the best athletes too, Gavin, to come out of the state in his grad class. Like 6'5", 6'6" runner, huge arm from the outfield, always could pitch, had arm strength, could land the breaking ball. So really cool to see him kind of getting some time there with Louisville, and hopefully he can continue to develop a role here moving forward throughout the season.
And I think, Drew, I skipped over this part, but last night in the World Baseball Classic, the U.S. lost to Italy, but Springfield native Sam Antonacci was on that team.
Yeah, I think everybody that was watching it saw plenty of Sam Antonacci and kind of everything we've been accustomed to seeing. Like, all the guy does is perform. It was so cool. Not so cool to see that he did it against the USA, but like in one of the biggest stages, I think he hasn't played over Double A, and for him to, be at the WBC, homer in early on, making the play in the ninth at shortstop, where kind of got him on the backhand. Didn't really seem like he had great footing, but still got a lot on the throw. Was an impressive play to me. And then to me, the play that really stood out was that, I don't know if you guys saw it or how locked in you were, but that dirt ball read he had at third base with 2 outs to score the 8th run for Italy. It bounced 5 feet away from the catcher. The anticipation, the gamerness that he showed, and then I've never seen like Sam that fired up on a baseball field before. Like, that was the most emotion I've seen from him. Like, he was ready to compete, and I absolutely love it. And if you're a White Sox fan, you've got to be super excited with what you're seeing out of a guy like that. Like, wasn't the most highly touted prospect, and all he's done is perform, whether it was Arizona Fall League, early on this spring training, WBC, all throughout the minor leagues. He did this at Coastal Carolina too. He did it at Heartland, all that stuff. So he did it at Springfield Sacred Heart. Played in state. It's, when he was at Sacred Heart, they made it to state. When he was at Heartland, won a national championship. When he was at Coastal Carolina, he was leading the country in runs scored. Like, he's a gamer. So cool to see. And I know we've talked about him a lot, but just awesome to see a guy making the most of his opportunities and just continuing to get better. Every time we see him, the bat speed, the power he's showing, the arm strength, all that stuff, the base running. Sorry to go kind of off on a tangent there, but really cool just watching that game, rooting for the U.S., watching the comeback, seeing PCA, take a couple hanging pitches with 2 strikes, not trying to do too much. Like, his approach looked way simpler. He was actually tardy on some fastballs, which I absolutely loved because that was telling me he was seeing it deep. And to me, that allowed him to get to those changeup, the one changeup that they hung early. And then the last one looked like kind of a cutter that didn't cut. But really cool to see PCA and just I don't know, cool for Chicago. And those are my takeaways from watching that stuff.
It was just kind of funny to me, everybody's inner travel ball parent was coming out with breaking down the pool play and what needs to happen for USA to advance. So I was kind of in my element with that. But they're still alive. I think it was Mexico can win. They just need to score 5 runs or something like that. Yeah, there's a lot of
My
math getting thrown around on X, but we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know about the math and I don't know about the breakdown, but all I know is that Mark DeRosa before the game was talking about how they had already advanced. So that's a
Yeah.
little foot in your mouth position there for Coach DeRosa. But
Yeah, I mean, he came out and said that he did the math wrong, basically, and
yeah,
he wasn't trying to say that like they were gonna beat Italy no matter what.
no,
I
for
think
sure.
he just meant like he thought they were in, which yeah, I mean
It's kind of scary going into that game not knowing it's like a must win. You know what I mean? Or thinking you have something clinched because like we didn't play Bregman, we didn't play Bryce Harper. So just who knows like what it affected with the situations during the game too. But I just thought that was interesting. Um, that it wasn't, totally dialed in there before the game. But yeah. No, I don't think
Yeah,
he meant it in a cocky way by any means.
we've got to be rooting for some high scoring today. That's all I saw. I think both teams have to score at least 4 runs or something for USA to make it. But yeah, also they didn't even play Cal Raleigh, so he kind of threw out his B lineup for a must-win game, not knowing it. What a lot of people are calling for the firing of Mark DeRosa for the next World Baseball Classic.
Well, I love to say that like that's our B squad, and there were so many studs in that lineup. Like PCA's hitting in the 9 hole, and I loved it. Like hopefully use that as like some fuel. Like hey, I should be leading off. I know we have Bobby Witt leading off, who's an absolute stud as well. So so many good U.S. players, and just it's fun to watch baseball again and meaningful baseball. It was just really cool to see and how into the game those guys were, and like. Man, PCA was fired up when he was in those home runs, and just the fact that they made it a game was really cool to see because they easily could have just laid down.
Yeah, and for those, this is a little off topic, but for anyone surprised to see Nick DiBenedetto on the screen, he's kind of filling in for Tyler today. Nick is in the Fox Valley area for us. He's been on the Wisconsin podcast a lot, so you'll probably start seeing him a little more with the high school season coming up here on the bullpen. So just wanted to give a heads up for Nick there.
I love that shout out because Nick,
Yeah.
you mentioned he's in the Fox Valley area, which is huge. Like Fox Valley is absolutely loaded with high school teams. So he's a guy that will be out all spring long, whether it's mixing in Wisconsin, mixing in Illinois, being hopefully like that expert on everything Fox Valley. He's a Crystal Lake, native. So we'll be getting him out as much as we can and getting his expertise and his takeaways from the games that he goes and watches on these podcasts. So yeah, Nick, thanks for joining us. And I know that kind of towards the end of the winter season as well, you were sitting in on some arms at some of our events, some defense, and just kind of dabbling here in Illinois.
Well, this isn't Nick's
Yeah.
first time. He's on the dark side. He's on Team Locascio. He
on
was
the
on
draft,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, he was in the draft.
The dark side. We'll see. We're still mixing around some ideas of how we can make that game happen to really get it, played out on the field instead of just having to hear you guys kind of chirp me all year long. We're gonna have to actually like put this to work here. We got some feedback with guys wanting to play the game, which would be super cool if it ever came to fruition.
Yeah.
But no, I think you guys have some ammo coming off that preseason All-State. Some guys really showed well for your squad, as did ours. We had a couple that weren't in attendance, who I'm sure will show well early on the spring when we get looks at them. But both squad, kind of like Team USA, both squads were pretty freaking loaded. So cool
Yep.
to see.
Couple more college notes back to that quick that I wanted to add. Illinois State's Graham Mastros, a New Trier grad, is hitting 369 on the year with 5 home runs, 17 RBIs, a triple, 5 doubles, and 5 stolen bases. And then Joliet West grad James Love at Eastern Illinois is hitting 336 with 4 homers, 28 RBIs, 3 triples, and 14 doubles on the year. So just some more Illinois prep prospects performing at the college level.
Yeah, maybe you mentioned Enzo and Felice. I might have just missed it there, but he's raking for Pravi, from Pravi for Cincinnati, I should say. All he's ever done is hit, and it's continuing at the college level. I think he had 2 home runs last night for his first 2 home runs of the season for him and his career. But like Jackson Smith, another guy from Providence Catholic, left-handed hitter playing second base, putting up big numbers for Cincinnati as well. And then Cal Sefcik was hurt I believe, to start the season. He's back in the lineup, and he's making his presence felt as well. I think they got him playing some corner outfield. But he was a Marist grad, former future gamer, former Super 60 guy. You got Wyatt Warrow getting in the lineup at NIU and leading the team in hitting. He's hitting close to 400. And then I saw, I don't have the stats like up in front of me, but his strikeout to walk ratio was through the roof as well. Like his OBP was super high. Aiden Flynn, not sure if you mentioned him, but getting some quality innings at Illinois from Marist. He was, one of the top left-handers in his class coming out of the state. I'm gonna throw a random one out at you guys that you may not even know the name. He was a guy that did not frequent many prep baseball events when he was coming through high school, but Tanner Malley. Feel free to check it out. Hit up the Google. He's at Western Michigan now. He's a Naperville North grad. And what I saw come across my desk, you can't believe everything you read on the internet, especially social media, but I believe he's leading all of Division I in hitting. It's like over 500 with a 6-something OBP, but Tanner Malley now at Western Michigan. Check it out. There's a couple other Illinois products up there at Western Michigan playing. The Maloney boys from Lincoln Way Central. Gav, are you on this? Are you checking this out? What do you got?
547, 4 doubles, a triple, 53 at bats, 18 runs scored, 29 hits, slugging 660. Yeah, he's having a heck of a year. Wow.
Yeah, so sorry, Tanner. I was a little unfamiliar with your game here coming out of high school. But kudos to you, and hopefully you can keep it going up there. We'll be watching from here on out.
Yeah, I mean, in 3 years at Western Michigan, he's hitting 395 career hitter. So pretty impressive stuff.
Just another one of those big time alums coming out of Naperville North. Love to see it. Love to see it.